Boom. Happy live. Welcome. It's Friday night after dark. Prompted romance. Hi, Laura. Hi, Katie. Hi, Ted.
Wait, was I supposed to turn off my light since it's after dark?
You could. I'm lit because the gays like soft light. But
I have a candle burning.
Ooh,
that's very soft.
Romantic.
Yeah.
I have a candle that I should light. It is Haunted Holiday.
Ooh.
So
I don't have that candle, Laura.
it smells like the Christmas, what do you call it? When they do not a layover, like a version of the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
So it smells like gingerbread.
Because I have Autumn on Main Street.
Mm.
Because someone was really nice and like sent it to me.
I wonder who that would be. They must be weird.
You have an admirer, Laura Nettles. Okay. I'm going to put some folks from the chat to say hello, and then I'm going to let you all introduce yourselves. So you can fight over who goes first, fight over who goes last, but you all got to introduce yourselves. Go to town. Hi, JC. Laura Nettles, R.T. Scott. Not all at once. Jump in there.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm Laura
you were
Nettles.
saying hi to people in the chat.
I was multitasking.
Yeah.
I was going to multitask. We got some prompts to write.
Yeah. I'm Laura Nettles. I write horror, although under my pen name Samantha R. Silverstone, I write romance, contemporary romance, and under another pen name, I'm writing paranormal romance with vampires. So, yeah, all the fun stuff. My third contemporary romance comes out tomorrow. The third one in the Ivy and Bean Cafe romance series. So the first one is with a college student and somebody who meet through a bulletin board at the cafe, exchanging notes. The second one is, oh shoot, I've already written the fourth one. The second one was
She's written the fourth
person
one.
visiting for fun.
the novelist and the barista.
Oh, yeah.
So he's trying to write a novel. He's taking time away from work. He's got a year to get this done, but he needs a muse.
Ooh.
And the barista just happens to be his muse. And then the third one is a oil painter who paints pinup art secretly and sells it online. And a anonymous buyer who is a museum curator, and maybe they share a table at the cafe. So, yeah. That's me.
I love all that. Stephanie, I want to hug you. Sorry. Okay. Tiff,
What?
take it away. Steph's dog had some bad news.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm so sad. I hate doggy news like that. Oof. So, anyway, sorry. Ladies, go ahead. Mood back up.
Who are you, Tiffany? Oh.
You don't, you don't know.
Hey everybody, I'm Tiffany, TRS Lifestyle. I generally stream on every other Thursday for PJs and Scribbles, or every other Saturday for Saturday Shorts, which means I will be streaming tomorrow for Saturday Shorts. It might be a short one because I didn't realize that Shannon's Kickstarter starts like basically right after mine ends, so we're gonna maybe try to keep it as tight as we can in order for people who want to go there to go there. I am one half of the writing duo Des Laurie. We have 10, 12 short romances out right now. Our romance When Love Comes Knocking is still part of the Stuff Your Kindle, so head on over if you haven't picked that up for free. And my own personal TLRS story, Speed of My Heart, just came out today. So also, if you have not picked that up, please go pick that up as well.
Congratulations. Yay.
Thanks, Eva. Oh my gosh.
I'm right there for I don't fold laundry.
The one after that. Talk about how spicy are these stories.
Oh, that's funny.
You're right. It is an After Dark stream, and you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, happy to listen to you, Tiff. Biggie.
Ooh.
Katie
Thank
Ann,
you.
welcome.
Hi, I am Katie Ann. I am Katie Ann Writes on YouTube. I make content about my writing journey. I write mostly fantasy, but in the last year, I have transferred into the romance writing sphere. Oh, Roy.
Love to hear it. Oh,
Baby. If you hear noises, I also have a dog here. See if I can get him on camera. No, of course not. Come here.
no, can't be bothered.
Cannot be bothered. Oh, can be bribed though.
Yes,
But the snacks.
With a snack.
exactly.
There we go. This is Blue. He's my co-writer and the one person who has all of my best ideas. So,
Well, you know,
He's also
Blue.
like, stop playing with me.
there is nothing I'm not able to treat myself. Hi, Anna. Hi, Anna. Blue is adorable.
thank you. He's a very sweet boy, and he is
Oh.
very good. He's. Oh, you gonna jump up here?
Yep. Now he's like, oh wait, treats. Cause see, me too. Like if someone's like, here's a snack. All right, husband
That's-
of mine. So, hey, Roy. All the puppy signs. Okay, Tiff, you can have Eva's dog. So you're welcome.
Aw, thanks.
He's cute too. Super cute. Roscoe, I think. What do I think that's the name? Probably wrong, Eva. Okay.
Oh,
Laura.
only for streaming nights though, apparently.
But you know,
On loan.
like I'm sure FedEx will ship. No worries.
Don't let
So-
Maggie hear you say that.
Or
Are
I just have to go to Eva's house to stream.
That's true. That's true. Not far. Yes, I got it right. Awesome. Wait, that is a hell of a name. Hang on, let me say that out loud.
Roscoe Haas
Ace
Ace Paws.
Ace Paws. Love it. That's goals. All right. So Laura
Is
came
Haas from Bonanza?
5. I don't know. Eva, yes, no on Bonanza? No. Oh no, she's talking about coming over to stream. Okay. So Laura wrote 5 amazing prompts. We're gonna read them to you and y'all vote. So definitely vote for number 1, and then all the others after it, you choose which ones you like. But
I
definitely
love that Eva said no AC at the moment, but later, yeah. You know, like I haven't been half without AC all summer
I
long.
would say typically fine with AC. Like she's 100. She drove down to our retreat with no AC in a car
Oh,
at
gosh.
like
How
100
did
degree
you
weather.
survive?
Like a crazy woman. I don't know.
Oh, because my father didn't turn on the air. He was the person who was driving. If it had been me, it would have been on.
I'd have rather walked.
I
I'm like, catch a hitchhike. Like,
I'd have a train. I'd have found there would have been another route I
yeah.
would have had to have taken because this would have not made it. The
Mm-mm.
heat and I are not friends.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was
Me
great.
neither.
We got in Barrett's car to go pick up Morgan, and he turned on the air, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, she was. She was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Aircon, where have you been?" Like,
There might have been a moment there I got cold.
yeah,
A luxury.
I know. I did. I was kind of like, "Wow, okay, welcome back. Here's where we've all been for a while." Because it had seriously been like 100-something degrees. So anyway, too wild for words. Okay, we're boring the people. We're gonna read the prompts, and you're gonna
Alright.
put number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Laura, do you want to read them? You came
I
up
will
with
read them.
buttes. I'll put the band. Oh yeah, you
All right, so this is one we're for sure doing because only 4 of them will fit in the poll. So the first one will be the lover brings the main character to a gallery, stopping them in front of a specific portrait. How do you explain this then? Is it a former lover? Is it a reincarnation thing? What's going on? Who knows? Number 2, the MC must confess their feelings to their love by midnight, or something tragic will happen. Number 3, we must be time-crossed lovers, they say, holding you close. Always the right person, never the right moment. Next time, I promise, you whisper into their chest. Number 4, it's the night of a blue moon. Crickets sing their love songs and fireflies dance in mating rituals. It's the night of a fated encounter. And number 5, it's a masquerade, and yet you would recognize them anywhere. No mask or change of wardrobe would hide the aspects of them you've memorized. So
That's good. All right.
Did you
let's
put
do-
2 through 5 in the poll, or
Oh, I just did 1 through 4. Oh wait, it won't. But is this the kind that'll only? No. Wait, they can only choose 1 though.
Mhm.
Wait, here we go.
Eva said 2 and 3 go well together.
Mhm. I know, Christian. She nailed it. That's the thing. Whatever we don't use tonight, we'll use another night. I was like, I'm gonna have to start writing better prompts. Oh, Laura, like you're really making me look bad. I'm gonna have to up my game. 3 and 4 are like, along with numero uno.
Anna she bypassed the prompt and just put it in there. Fated encounter and masquerade. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I made it hard. Yes, Deirdre, that's right. Unless that's not what you wanted it to be, and then it's the other thing. So we aim to please here. We don't know what the numbers mean, Eva. Just
So 1 is
One
the
thing.
gallery.
matter what. So basically, I should have said 2 through 5, but
Yeah. So there is Confessed by Midnight, Time Crossed Lovers, Blue Moon, or Masquerade.
So vote. Okay, we'll put. Deidre, that's like winning. So you're nailing it. And then, so number 2. So you want to do 1, 2, 5? Do we think we have all of our votes?
Is it wrong that at this point I don't even know what 1, 2, and 5 are?
So we're doing the gallery.
1.
Okay, remember that.
And then we're going to do the Confess Their Feelings by Midnight, or something tragic will befall them.
Yes.
Okay.
Or happen. Something tragic. And then Masquerade.
Okay.
Oh. Do we really want to recount, or Eva, are you okay with 5,
Well, we do the
2, and whatever? Okay, we're gonna do that. It's just easier. Sorry, I messed it up. We'll do better next week. You probably weren't the only one, Eva, but you know.
All right, so I'll pull the other ones down to the bottom so we can save them for
Yes.
later. Okay.
So what do you want to open with, Laura? You wrote some amazing ones. 1, 2, 5.
Let's just start with 1.
Okay.
The gallery.
The gallery.
Originally, it was going to be the whip out a photo, but I was like, let's go more historical or paranormal. So,
Okay. Oh, paranormal. I didn't think that. Oh, fun.
because do vampires take photographs? I don't know.
Wow. Nicolas Cage has. I've seen him on Facebook, and it's true.
I'm a vampire.
Okay. Well, how long is our timer going to be? What do we want to do?
30, 35, something over there.
Love it.
split the difference. 32.30.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh, that was super specific. Let's go.
Who's writing a whole story in 8 minutes, Eva?
I'm fast, but I'm not that fast. Jeez.
No, heavens no. All right, and boom. Okay. We'll
I
notice.
wonder where Deidre's mind is going. She says, the lover. LOL, the word alone is taking my mind on a journey.
Ever says, I was thinking something along paranormal on this one.
Ooh, I cannot wait to see the stories. So you know how this works. Write your stories. When we come back, we're going to share them. You can send them to me on Instagram, or you can come up here and read your story yourself. You choose. All right. Are y'all ready?
Born ready.
All right. Kill it. Slay it. Do your thing.
'Tis the end. And you're muted.
I say too soon. I say.
Ah.
Way
I
too
have-
soon.
Oh, you too. You overwrote too. You.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I'm like, I didn't get to the happy ever after.
I know. I'm just like, oh, now I want to like write this whole story.
I know, right? Same. I'm like, oh, I kind of like where this is headed. Okay. Well, Laura, how did it go?
Good. About 4:40.
Oh, good. Laura.
Well, there's romantic elements. It's
That's
pretty
fine.
dramatic.
You know there are no rules here, so bring it. Like, we're not afraid. Okay, let's see what the people say. Oh, hi, Michael and Gwenna and baby. Hi.
Yay.
Oh, Eva sent me 589 words, 473 words for Regina. Where'd it go? Yes, send me your pieces if you don't want to join us. You're welcome to join us as well. Let's see here. You will send it to this on Insta. Okay, so do any of us want to read what we wrote? And then I'll pull up some of the others and we can share them to be read as well. And don't all volunteer.
I just realized the question doesn't make sense. Dang it, now I gotta change it.
You realized what? Who?
The question doesn't make sense that she just asked. Like,
Wait, about which part?
Wait, what?
in my story.
Oh!
Oh,
No longer makes sense
okay.
what I had happened.
I'm over here just reading, like, what?
I'm like, what question is who asking? What?
I know. I was like, oh, but I get what you mean now. Okay.
Oh.
That's fair. That's fair. Y'all been working hard on that challenge.
I can read mine.
Yes. Okay, go, Tiff. Go.
All right. That's not a word. Okay. I looked over at Brandon, his dark ocean blue eyes staring deeply into mine. The curve of his lip pointed downward. His brow created the perfect V to complement the dip of his hair. He shouldn't look so serious, not when I was doubled over with laughter. This is no laughing matter, Stana. His deep voice had a hint of danger. I had never heard this tone before, the growl that accompanied my name sending small quakes through my body. I shook my head. I'm sorry, but you can't honestly expect me to believe you. He was at my side before I finished speaking. His hand cupped the side of my face, and my laughter caught in my throat. The dark hardness of his body against mine brought thoughts of nights spent lost up to passion and darkness. I raised an eyebrow. Right here, baby? We were standing outside the Met Gallery. It was arguably the most famous art gallery in the world besides the Louvre. That was on my bucket list, but for now, New York would have to do. His hand slid from my cheek down the side of my body. Only after you believe me, he leaned in, his lips just grazing my ear. After that, I have every intention of having you. Forever. The emphasis he put on the last word pulled at my heart. He always spoke that way. Forever, always, eternity. This was supposed to be a fun summer fling, not the rest of my life. I was far too young to consider settling down. Come, love, it's time for you to learn the truth of my words. He took my hand and led me through the gallery. As an art student, I love galleries. I have been to almost all of the ones in the States and 2 in England. Before I died, I wanted to see them all. We slowed down when we got to the Renaissance paintings. Brandon knew me so well. The Renaissance was my favorite time period along with Baroque. I love this one. I stopped him in front of one of my favorites. Look at the brush strokes and the use of color, the way the artist melded each into one. It's like you can feel the movement within the painting. It is beautiful, but we're not here to admire Donatello. He chuckled. Besides, especially not when Donnie still owes me 20 quid. Stingy little bastard. He was on a roll tonight. Right, you know Donatello. I shook my head, my laughter from earlier seeping out. I suppose you two were hanging out just last week. Nonsense. His laughter matched mine. I haven't seen him in at least a decade. I dug in my feet. Will you stop? This isn't funny anymore. I don't know what is going on, but I'm not interested in playing mind games. They aren't mind games, and I will prove it. We continued through the paintings, but none of them brought me the joy they normally did. I was too busy questioning the sanity of the man holding my hand. There was no way that he believed what he was saying. Things like this didn't happen, couldn't be true. We passed through the Renaissance and onto the Baroque period. He walked right up to a portrait hanging under the dim light of the museum. If I'm lying, then how do you explain this then? Ice broke in my veins, my breath rushing forward as my feet held their place. My eyes tried to comprehend what I was looking at, but it couldn't be true. There was no way this was true. He reached for my hand and pulled me further through the gallery to the Romance art, and there was another painting, different colors and different strokes, but the same face looking back. My face, my eyes, my smile. We left there and made our way to the Impressionist era. Once more another painting, 4 more portraits, all in different times, all with the same initials, all the same face, my face. The last was from more than 50 years ago. I would never lie to you, Stana. He stood behind me, his arms grounding me in the moment, in the truth of what he said. This isn't real. There was nothing but air to my words. Then how do you explain it? There was no explanation. We have known each other for more lifetimes than these paintings could ever capture, and now it's time for you to remember. He spun me to him, and his lips covered mine. We had kissed before, but nothing ever like this. Come back to me, my love. And with a pinch to my lip, a small bite with his teeth, and the taste of frozen berries between one heartbeat and the next, I remembered.
Oh my God.
Back to the amazing. Amazing.
Just great. You should write romance stories.
Yeah. God.
I've thought of dabbling.
I think you should. Wowza. Okay, let me just, I'm gonna drop some of the love because, like, damn, Tiff, yes. Hi, Amy. Hi.
Hi, Amy.
Yes, agree. Stephanie, agree. Eva, yes. Oh, sorry. Oh.
I have Twitter. If you want to send me.
I have
Google
Facebook.
We have Twitter, Facebook. We have all the socials covered. If you
Twitter
don't
is
do
Laura
that,
Nettles 4.
Laura Nettles 4. You heard it here first.
Mine. I don't know what mine is.
Not important. It's listed below in the Facebook group for Des Laurie. Is that what you mean, or?
Oh no, I think I have a personal Facebook thing you could send it to. I don't know.
Like putting all your personals out there. I'm a lady. I can't have that out there.
I think it's just Tiffany Russell.
Wow, you used a pseudonym and everything.
I know. It took me a second. I was like, I don't know what I have.
Okay, that was fantastic, Tiff. Okay, who wants to follow that? Definitely not me. I'm not ready.
I was like, oh.
I don't think it's for me. Now, Eva.
I cheated and I added a sentence to mine to make the question make sense.
Oh, that's fine. I don't think
There's
that
no rules
about
here.
it. Doesn't have a Twitter. Exactly, it's Florida. Christian says, I don't have Twitter. I don't. Okay.
Email?
Discord?
Discord. I'm like, email. I don't check the one that I give the people's.
I can give one of my emails.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll create a Google form, and we can do that. Going heretofore. Okay. Oh, Deidre's in this one too. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna divvy some of these up and send. Oh, we have several in. Whoa! Yay! Okay, this is good. Yeah, I'll start passing these out to y'all's accounts.
I can't even spell my own name.
Oh no.
Not importante.
Dude, I just forgot mine was under my name. Like, we're doing great tonight, guys.
There's so many things. Oh my gosh, yay, I'm gonna read this one. Okay, Shawnee, I'm gonna pass you off to, I'm gonna share this with Katie Ann, do you mind reading?
I would love to.
I should totally ask for. I'm just like, oh, let me send you one.
Just send me them. I'll read those, yeah.
Right, I'm like, oh, what a bitch I am. Okay, let me.
We love you anyway.
Nail that, send, and then, yay, of course. I'm talking to Stephanie instead we're talking live. Okay, we got Deirdre, and I will send. Perfect. Okay, I think I got them all. Forwarded. Did you get that one, Katie Ann?
I did indeed. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, and then who wants to read the other from Deidre? Laura, you want to
Anna
read?
wants to join to read hers.
I know, I sent it. I
can
sent
read
it
Deidre's.
to Anna and to, who was my other brave soul? I've already forgotten because I'm old and tired. Stephanie! You can read Deidre's. Okay, coming your way, Tiff.
Yeah.
All right, who is going next? We want to throw one of our guests under the bus that were brave enough to send us their stories.
I can go.
Oh, okay. Go. Well, Laura, you'll kill it. Go. Kill it. Slay.
Okay. And there's a Stephanie. Okay. Here is mine. I did not title it yet. Lucy's warm. I can't even read. Let me make this bigger.
Welcome to my world. Oh,
Lucy's hand was warm in mine, guiding me down the moonlit corridor of the manor. Cobwebs fluttered in the breath of the house, dust dancing in the blue motes of light. I never came down this wing anymore. Silly, beautiful mortal still had an insatiable taste for exploration and ancient history. Lightning strikes outside, the flash illuminating the portraits from centuries past. A past probably best left forgotten in the molders of time. The ashes of my slain companions drag at my feet. I look down. It's just carpet. Dusty carpet the moths have gotten to. No ashes. Get a hold of yourself. The blonde beauty with living blood flowing in her veins stops in front of a portrait. I know which one it is even before she gestures to it. Know she is prying into the secrets I should share with her if we are to be together for more than a human lifetime. If I can bear to turn her. Who is she? She asked, drawing me near. The warmth of her seeps through her nightdress and into my bare chest. I had left my own nightdress outside the coffin where I had discarded it and we had made love a mere hour before. Words stick in my dry throat. I cannot say her name. The ancient wound threatens to split open once more. Scar tissue rupture and the pus of hurt and revenge ooze from deep within my soul. I stop and start again. My first love. She died, soul purified and brought to heaven where I could never tread. She was merely a human. We were never meant to actually be together. How do you explain this then? Lucy asked. Clouds cover the moon, casting us in darkness. My vampiric eyes are not affected, yet I still can't believe what I see. Lucy's hair moves as if in a circling wind, eyes brightening and nightdress fluttering like butterfly wings. The smell of burning ozone fills my sensitive nose, the heralding smell of angels. A halo of spiked light erupts from the crown of Lucy's head, so bright I shield my eyes. 6 wings span the hallway, looming over our figures. These new aspects should be burning me with their hallowed, emanating brightness that puts the sun to shame. Aurora, my love, came a multi-layered voice. Lucy's was still in there, but so was hers. I've climbed the ranks of the angelic orders that I may fall and be with you. Await my arrival. That's all I got.
Wow, Laura.
Oh my God. Oh, I've heard so many of your stories at this point, and every one of them haunts my soul in such different ways. Like some of them are like, I will never sleep again. And some of them.
I keep an emotional support blanket whenever Laura reads.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they've moved to the spicy variety, and they're good. They're totally worth a little spice in your life. Anna.
Hello.
Ooh. Someone took fall. Okay, is everyone ready? Who wants to read?
Hello.
Do our guests want to read? Wait, introduce yourselves first. Sorry, I'm so rude. Come to my house, and then no one knows who
One
you
sec,
are.
let me just get my headphones connected.
Oh, yeah. No worries.
Who are you, Stephanie?
Who are you, Stephanie? We don't even know you anymore.
Who am I? I don't know that I know me anymore. I'm just kidding. My name is Stephanie Backett. I am a journalist by day. I'm a seminarian by night. In my last year of seminary, and haven't had a lot of time to do any creative writing outside of poetry. I write a lot of poetry these days, but I haven't had a lot of time to do other creative writing, and so I was, like I said, I needed this tonight.
Hey, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so then, do you want to read? Are you ready? Or do you want us to read? Okay. All right, take it away.
Can I get a tall latte? Beth didn't even look up as she asked for the order. Her phone buzzed just as the barista took her card. Oh, and a venti black coffee. The barista sighed as he took her card and swiped it. It's just small, medium, and large here. Starbucks is across the street. He mumbled just loud enough to cause her to look up from her phone. Oh, sorry, thanks. She took the black coffee from the counter and turned straight into what felt like a wall. Shit, she screamed as the hot coffee spilled all over her. The wall moved, his hand going toward the counter to grab the napkins the barista quickly held out. Can I help you? She looked up and locked eyes with the wall she had just run into. How is it that I ran into you and you have no coffee on you? How did it only spill on me? The barista put a fresh cup on the counter next to her while she patted her dress with the napkins. I don't know, but if we don't get out of the way of this line, I think they might dump their coffee on you, he said, looking at the impatient line of people behind the two of them. He gently pulled her elbow as she continued to soak up the coffee with the napkins. Will you let me take you to breakfast to make up for all of this? He said. He asked as he motioned toward her dress. Beth, a monotone voice rang out, reminding her she'd ordered a latte. I'm sorry, I can't. I have to go to work, she said, while walking toward the counter. Before he could say anything, she slipped out the side door. She looked familiar. He knew he'd seen her before, but he just couldn't place where. He left the coffee shop empty-handed, hoping to catch up to her, but she was lost in the crowded morning rush hour of walkers. He leaned against a building and took out his phone. Hey man, can you come to 47th and Broadway today? I need some photos taken of an event. The text was from his brother. He didn't want to go, but he could never seem to say no to Jacob. He started the short walk back to his apartment to get his camera. This guy just ran into me at the coffee shop today, Beth told her boss as she handed him his coffee. I completely embarrassed myself, so I hope you never send me that far away again for coffee, because I can never show my face there again. Her boss chuckled. Hey, at least you got a good story out of it. Beth growled. His good story was her humiliation. And you can get your own coffee tomorrow, she replied. I'll see you in an hour downstairs. Don't forget the mayor's coming. Beth was rushing to the elevator 75 minutes later to make sure her boss had his remarks for the ribbon cutting. As the doors opened, she saw his face. She walked in sheepishly as he said, we're late. The elevator moved quickly from floor to floor. She walked out, taking one last look at the speech. Hey, I think you need to move this part. Her voice stopped as she bounced off another brick wall. She looked up from the speech to see a face she recognized. What are you doing here? She asked, their eyes familiar from the morning coffee incident. My brother's the main event here. Hey, Jacob, he shouted over the soft rumble of the board members, employees, and city officials at the ribbon cutting. Beth was shocked when she heard her boss's name come from his mouth. My boss is your brother? How have I never seen you before? I've been in South Africa. I take pictures for National Geographic, or at least I did before they fired me. I just moved back to the city last week. Just then, he realized where he'd seen her before. Have you ever been to South Africa? She answered with a swift no and looked away. Yes, you have. I know, because I saw you there, he insisted. I promise I've never been to South Africa before. I've never been to any countries in Africa. She sounded annoyed. Let me take you to dinner. You've run into me twice now. It's fate that we continue this conversation. But at the moment, Jacob was about to speak, and he told me to make sure I got a photo of him with the mayor. Fine. One dinner. I'll be done with work at 7. It was 7 p.m. on the dot when the elevator opened and Beth stepped out to see him, waiting in the lobby. He'd changed since the event this morning. I still have coffee on my dress, but you got that dressed up? We have someplace to go after dinner, he replied. I told you dinner. I never agreed to anything else, she quipped back. Come on, I promise it'll be worth it. He was practically begging. She could see he was excited about wherever he wanted to take her. Fine. Dinner and a place. Where are we going anyway? He led the way to dinner, again probing if she'd ever been to South Africa. She was getting annoyed at this line of questioning, but he knew he'd seen her. He confirmed it that afternoon. This was delicious, she said as she put down her fork and sipped her red wine. Are you ready to go, he asked. What about the check, she replied. It's already handled. He stood up and held out his hand. As he led her through the restaurant, she couldn't help but feel butterflies as his other hand gently rested on her lower back. She let him slip his hand in hers as they walked down the long block toward 9th Avenue. Here we are, he said, opening the door. An art gallery? She asked. As she looked around, she saw why he brought her here. The room was filled with people milling about looking at photographs. There were close-ups of lions and zebras. A large black and white photo of an elephant anchored the exhibit. Are these all yours? She asked quietly. It was almost a whisper. She was in awe. Yes, I wanted to show you something. He led her to the back corner of the gallery. There were a few photos of people, but there in the corner was the photo he wanted to show her, a portrait he'd taken 10 years before. He'd been trying to find the woman online since he took it. You say you haven't been to South Africa. How do you explain this then? He asked. She looked up. It was her. She turned to face him. She remembered that day vividly, but had pushed it to the back of her mind. It was her honeymoon, but her fiancé had left her at the altar, so she went alone. I knew it was you. I've been looking for her, he said, softly nodding toward the image. He leaned down and kissed her. That's all I got.
Is that all you got? Oh,
That was like a novel. Oh my god, yes.
I know.
amazing.
Amazing.
So good.
And I texted you some in the middle of that. Like, wow. I got like 350 words. Way to go.
Oh my god.
Nailed it. Definitely. Mr. Friend, please come back and play with us more often.
I will.
You know where
Okay,
I
I'm
am
gonna-
every
Okay. Look like this tonight, but I'll be on the rest of the time.
Thanks for
Thank you
coming.
for coming to play.
Bye.
Bye, friend.
Bye.
All right. Anna, you ready? Or do you want a moment for someone else to read another story first?
I'm happy to go. I'll just go and then I'll jump off if that works.
Oh, yes, please. We love you. Oh, wait, intro yourself first. Sorry. Let's
Oh,
Steph.
yeah, I'm Anna, or Ant Hugger around the internet. I write literary fiction and poetry. I have a couple pieces out in a few journals that you can find in places. And yeah, thanks for letting me read my silly writing on your channel.
We love you. Stop it. Go. Tell us.
Okay. Okay, cool. I won't tell you the title until the end, but yeah,
Okay.
cool. Okay. How do you explain this then? And finally, after all the excruciating weeks, the mindless pleasantries and corporate cocktail hours, after smiling out each one of the lies he kept lodged in his throat for sweet Sunday mornings and late night phone calls, Max watched the pretense fall away. It's an empty frame, love, he played ignorance. Seems like your parents must have overlooked this one. Sebastian's face fell further, his dark eyebrows drawn together in a frown. You know that's not true, Sebastian said, slow and deliberate, like he was forming the words in his head before he said them. So much patience, Max thought, for a man who just lost his family a fortune. This is the best of them. It's what everyone here, he swept out an arm as if to indicate the mass of well-dressed guests milling around the gallery, have come to see. The other pieces are just filler, really. Max did his best to keep a hint of surprise off his face. I didn't realize you were so cynical, he said lightly. Surely art is art, no matter the price tag. Sebastian stepped closer, and Max was briefly distracted by the familiarity of him, warmth, the light scent of his cologne. To me, sure, but my parents, well, they'll care, if that's what you mean. Then I suppose we'll have to pray they don't notice, Max said, and then, catching sight of Sebastian's expression, don't look at me like that, love. This isn't really my fault. Sebastian crossed his arms over his chest, still staring with a look like a wounded animal. Max could see him chewing his bottom lip, and, fuck everything, there was still a little part of him that found it unreasonably cute. Sebastian may have been an idiot, the ignorant, inexperienced son of two world-class art collectors with just enough of a complex about living up to his parents' expectations that he was all too eager to please. But Max had learned in the past weeks that, to his horror, Sebastian was also adorable. He was kind and gentle, smoked too much, and made bad puns far too early in the morning. He was also so good in bed that it almost made Max squirm just thinking about it. He was, all things considered, the perfect mark. I'm sorry, Max said then, for what it's worth. Sincerity was a bad look on him, Max had learned. It sat awkwardly against the line of his throat, chafed against his shoulders with a stiffness that left him feeling stifled, like a caged animal with nowhere to pounce. He'd come to hate the drawl of his own voice in the weeks he'd spent with Bash. The sweet talking, the coyness, it disgusted him to no end. The sex he could live with. Are you? Sebastian was fiddling with the cuff of his sleeve, and when Max opened his mouth to give whatever sort of half-formed platitude he was certain would have tumbled out, Sebastian held up a hand to stop him. Don't bother, but thanks, by the way, for whatever this has been. With that, he turned on his heel, making a beeline for the closest exit, and Max watched the finely tailored lines of his suit disappear into the evening outside. He glanced over, warning for mild, spicy content. He glanced over at the space of wall beside him, the frame gaping with an emptiness he recognized himself from the moments after Sebastian pulled out of him, fingers gentle on Max's thighs, and the soft hum of breath against Max's bare back. Well, Max spared them all one last glance, the party-goers and the thinly veiled classism of the thing. Fuck it. He shoved his hands into his pockets and headed for the door, already searching out Sebastian's outline in the darkness. He had a proposition to make, and this time, he thought, he might try out something like sincerity.
How?
Oh my god.
How did you write all that in that amount of time?
Yeah, the title is Art Thief Baby Develops a Conscience.
I'm like, just go forth and in, young man. Oh, Hannah, you took
Yeah.
that.
Oh, thank you.
My
Hopefully it
favorite
wasn't.
part was when she just randomly broke and was like, oh, what was it like? Warning, just in case. Because at first I was like, is that part of the story?
No, sorry. I just realized I was like, oh, this might be. But I don't know. Hopefully it's fine.
Oh wait, whoa, you're getting all the love in chat. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, wowza.
Oh, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, I mean, hello, you're killing it.
Oh, thank you.
No, don't. Feel
Yeah, I did forget about the penetration.
I know. I'm gonna read next just to bring the bar back down to nowhere, and then there's
No.
and then we'll all feel the yes to that part. Everyone is so talented, killing it.
Thank you. But yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for letting me read.
Thanks for coming. Love you, friend. Be well. Come back and
Love
play.
you too. Bye. I'll be in the chat.
That was so awesome. Loved it. All right. So I've passed around some stories to everybody else. I haven't read mine. Katie, you haven't read yours. What do we want to do? Do we want to read the stories? Laura's got 2, I think.
I mean, I'll read mine for sure, and then I have the.
Do it.
All right.
Then,
Okay.
Yeah.
After all of those good ones, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm just gonna leave.
Nail it. No.
Not even.
Filled. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about any of the noises in the background. Someone likes to scratch at the floor.
I love it.
Come on, it's not much farther, Lance says, hustling down the rain-slicked pavement without slowing. Alexander flexes his fingers, already missing the warmth from his partner's palm. Despite his protest of a headache, Lance promised him they'd get slushies and pizza after this art gallery opening. Lance charges through the puddles without any worry for his Doc Martens. Alexander tiptoes around them, not wanting to get his socks wet. It is almost futile, though. It's been raining for what feels like decades. And even though he tries not to splash, someone else inevitably does, and sprays water all over his sneakers and jeans. When Alexander looks up, Lance has disappeared into the throng of people. Alexander clutches his umbrella and waits. He'll spot Lance in his ridiculously bright silver coat soon enough. He's just about to reach into his pocket and pull out his phone when Lance bursts out of a side door. Alex, come on, he whines. His dark hair is plastered to his forehead, and he takes Alexander's elbow without another word and hauls him through a darkened door. Are you sure we're not on our way to get murdered? Alexander asks. At least the hallway they're in is warm, even if it is pitch black. It's narrow, and he can barely fit through with his umbrella, and he struggles to get it closed without a light. It splashes extra rain all down the front of his coat, and he curses. Fuck the rain. One day he'll take Lance to Spain and show him all the beautiful galleries of Barcelona, Madrid, Santiago, and then at least there'll be less chance of rain. Lance's hand finds his in the dark. Keep close. I promise you'll like this. Their fingers wind together, as natural as always. Alexander trusts Lance more than he probably should. So he relaxes, and they move through the dark together, the sound of the city and the rain left far behind. The corridor twists, and they're dumped out into a dark room lit only by dozens of spotlights. Alexander tries to count them, but it's dizzying how bright they are, and his headache throbs. Lance leads him to what must be the first portrait. Lance stops, curling his arm around Alexander's and sighs. It's beautiful, right? Alexander blinks, his eyes adjusting, and he stares at the portrait. Fuck. He knows precisely who this artist is. He can almost smell the oil paints, taste the bristles on his tongue, and feel the warm Mediterranean breeze on his skin. He knows the woman in this picture, dressed up as the first in the major arcana. Daphne, Alexander thinks. She's pretty and plump, but tears stream down her cheeks as she holds onto her lover's sleeve. The fool. Lance is saying something, the low rumble of his voice brushing against the shell of Alexander's ear, but he can't comprehend. This is impossible. Lance shuffles along, and Alexander's feet carry him against his will. The next he knows better than last. It's of his old mentor. Alexander swore he'd never speak his name again, and so he doesn't even think it. He's carved it from his mind, and yet he knows that face so well. It's wrinkled and lined, intelligence sparking in those icy blue eyes. A smirk, barely there, curls on his lips. Instead of a golden chalice in his hand, he holds a glimmering blue stone with sharp edges. The artist had even been able to capture the pearlescent shine on the outer edge, rubbed smooth by time and a thumb. The magician. Alexander knows he needs to leave. He knows if he says he isn't feeling well, Lance would let them leave. But as he looks at Lance's face, so full of wonder and awe and reverence, Alexander knows he's only delaying the inevitable. They pass the high priestess, the empress, the emperor, the hierophant. With each, Alexander's throat closes. He wonders if he could just die here. He's never been able to before, but maybe now he could. Lance stops before the lovers, and Alexander can't look at the portrait. He sees the word "what" shape on Lance's mouth. His brows draw together, and then he's looking at Alexander with confusion. Alexander is a coward, so he looks away, at the portrait, at himself. Something cracks open in Alexander's chest. To anyone else, he might have been able to deny it, to laugh it off. Weird, huh? The portrait is of two figures intertwined. Matteo is one of them, the beautiful, angelic boy with golden ringlets and delicate fingers. His eyes full of mischief, as if through time and space and paint, he is laughing at Alexander, laughing as always. And perhaps if the other figure was just a man, one with dark waves that brush the back of his neck, with a sharp nose and chin, with lovely red bitten lips, one that, yes, suspiciously looked like Alexander, with the golden amber eyes and a scar along his left brow, not quite cutting into the hairs. He could have brushed it off. But his tattoo is the main focus of the painting. It sprawls across his back, black wings that arch across his shoulder blades. How? Lance's voice is a whiplash in the dark. This artist is... Lance trails off. Dead, Alexander says. It tastes bitter in his mouth, like anise, like what Matteo always tasted and smelled like. Been dead for hundreds of years, he says. It's a fact he knows as well as his heartbeat. Alex, Lance's voice quivers, and Alexander wants nothing more than to tell him that this isn't him. Tell me this is where you got your inspiration for your tattoo. Lance's voice is barely a squeak. They both know it isn't. These portraits are recently discovered. Alexander had thought they'd been destroyed. He hadn't been able to do it himself, and now he wishes he had. Yet to erase the world of Matteo's artistic talent, his eye for seeing beauty, to erase the world of Matteo, he could not have done it. Not then, not now. No.
Ah! In 30 minutes. Y'all, give the feedback. I'm going to throw up some of these comments. Loving it. This one, descriptions for days. I know. See? Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
You're getting a fan club.
Yeah.
A Katie Ann club, which...
Hey, oh, that's good.
How the hell, Katie Ann? Like, seriously. Real story. Two fingers.
Inspired by everyone else.
Nailed it. No words. I know. So good. Okay. See, look at this. All the love. Crushed it. Damn, can we have someone else read? Yeah, I know. All right, I'm going to read mine, and then we'll read the ones we got of everyone. See, Laura, we're only going to get 2 in tonight.
Yeah.
It's like we got so many entries, but that's good. People are having fun writing to the tales, which I love. And we'll save them for next time. Okay. Her lover had brought her to the one place she knew she should never be, the one place where her sloppiness peeked through, the St. Louis Art Museum, or SLAM for locals. They slithered down the sections and aisles until there was no doubt where they were going. You know, I've been taking these classes over here at SLAM. Have you been here before? Sure, but it's been a while. Hey, do you want to grab something to eat over in the West End? She asked. No. I ran across something I wanted to get your thoughts on. She was caught and needed to think fast. Planting her feet, she dropped her hands to break free of Tracy, who was practically dragging her through the gallery. But Tracy didn't hear the clap of her hands. Tracy pulled her over to the oil on canvas from the turn of the 19th century, Lady Harriet Fillmore. This, how do you explain this, then? That's me. As soon as the words left her lips, she regretted them. I don't understand, Tracy said, the words catching in her throat. She hoped she was making the right choice. She was 99% sure they were fated, and Tracy would want to turn. The last time she offered to turn her lover was back when her lover painted Lady Harriet Fillmore. Didn't go as planned that time. I was, reborn right after the artist painted this. I'm a vampire. Tracy looked around the open gallery space and for the first time realized that they were surrounded by fellow patrons frozen in time, seemingly breathing but not moving or conscious. Why aren't they moving? Are we dead? Oh shit, you're a vampire. Of course you're dead. Am I dead? Oh Jesus, is this it? Tracy shrieked with her dramatic flair that I fell in love with. No, it's a gift. We get them when we turn and grow strong. They grow stronger over time. The question here is, are you ready? Tracy crossed the distance between us in less than a second. Kiss me before I change my mind. That's as far as I got.
Oh my god.
Very nice.
So good.
Slam. My favorite place. Okay.
With the slam, we are the ROM.
Yes. Okay, we had all the peoples. So we passed them around. Who wants to read some of our guest ones first?
I have two.
Shawnee is who went to
so-
Katie, and I didn't give names, which would have been helpful. Shawnee or Labyrinth of Timers is who Katie Ann got. Tiff, you have Deirdre, and Laura got JC and Christian.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. And I have
So-
Eva.
I'll read one, and then you guys can read, and then I'll read the second one of mine.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. This one is from our lovely JC Carpenter.
Oh,
Okay. All night, Adam had been looking at me strange. It was almost as if he knew. Could he have found out somehow? No, it's impossible. As we strolled through the new gallery that he brought me to, I felt glamorous and on cloud nine. I could almost believe that I could really be a part of this world. Almost. Eventually, I would have to go back out, not yet. But not yet. Not tonight. Tonight, I was on a third date with a man that I had been waiting for centuries to meet again. We were robbed before, but I had to have a second chance with him. I had made this wish, and it was coming true. I didn't want this time to end. He held my hand as we walked past each portrait, and I was taking in everything I was experiencing. In my time, we didn't have any of this. I didn't have much longer, though. I was given 1 month to find him and make him mine again, or I would lose him, and it would be forever this time. The challenge was that I couldn't reveal to him who I really was. It took almost the entire month to find him, to blend in with a world that I was a stranger in. I felt like an alien here, but anything was worth another moment to touch him, to be with him. And here we are. He kept looking back at me, his eyes curious. Did he recognize me? Could he know? When he stopped abruptly in front of another portrait, I wasn't sure what was happening at first. He turned to me, his look now different. I know who you are. I've been waiting for you to tell me the last 2 days now. I knew it the moment I saw you. I don't know what you mean. I knew that I recognized you from somewhere. I couldn't remember at first. Then I realized that we knew each other before, in another life. I laughed passively. Another life? That's silly. Is it Abigail? Points to the portrait we're now standing in front of. Then how do you explain this, then? As I stared at the portrait, I was in disbelief. It was us. Not now, but then. Another life, another time, another plane of this world.
Oh, I love that.
Good
Totally
job,
different
JC.
way to go. Love it, JC. And JC was all, I can't do it. I can't write the paranormals.
Awesome.
Nailed it, friend. Nailed it. That was so good. Okay. Me, just Eva. All right. Eva wrote not a romance, but a good one. Okay. The lover brings the MC to the gallery, stopping them in front of a special portrait. How do you explain this then? Welcome to the Inner Spring. My name is Claire. Please take a moment to get comfortable in your surroundings. If you're experiencing any ringing in your ears, blurred vision, dizziness, or nausea, rest assured that is completely normal and you're fine. The feminine robotic voice echoed off the plain white walls. I was lying on cold marble. I blinked my eyes, trying to focus on the blur standing in front of me, a woman. She spoke again. Interspring prides itself on being the leader in AI love matching and relationship connections. You are currently experiencing an AI reality. You are okay. You are okay. You are safe, and you. She paused a moment before continuing. Alice Mayfield are ready for love. Suddenly, the memory returned. I was asleep in a room in Innerspring Labs, 3 blocks from my office. My best friend Barrett, you bitch, bless his heart, had dragged me here to snag a buy one, get one free deal to find true love. What a gimmick. This time, when I opened my eyes, everything was in focus. It was a large square room with all white walls, floors, and ceilings. Claire stood in front of me with a large blonde beehive hairdo and wearing a pink frilly polka dot dress with at least 40 pretty coats. You are currently experiencing an AI reality. You are okay. Her smile was creepy in its comfort. Please take a moment to get comfortable in your surroundings. Would changing my fashion help your comfort levels? Claire flashed like the glitch of an old television and was now wearing a neat cut suit with a long, smooth braid down one shoulder. Innerspring prioritizes the comfort of our clients. I'm comfortable. My voice sounded like an echo coming from somewhere further away. Excellent. It's now time to view your true love. Please follow me. I watched Claire walk 4 steps to the wall nearest us and faced it. I waited. She waited. Do you really charge for this? The Innerspring experience you're in, Package True Love 004, is completely paid for and underway. All prerequisites have been met, and you are in the final stages of matchmaking. To proceed, please come to this area. I don't believe in this. Claire turned her body, her head cocked to one side like a curious puppy. You are currently experiencing an AI reality. Her head straightened. She continued. Belief is not necessary or relevant to this stage of the process. Would you like to continue? I looked around the room again, then back to the wall. It was blank, nothing on it. She blinked. Sure, let's continue. She smiled and turned as I walked to her side. Interspring would like to thank you for taking part in the True Love package. Soft music started to play from somewhere, a familiar song. We'd love to hear a review at the end of this session. Are you ready? The song playing on the radio the night of our accident. The night this is bullshit. I started to walk away, but turned to see only more of the same white space. How do you explain this then? I turned as she said it, and there he was, his image, moving and looking at me, the same way he looked at me the night we left on our honeymoon. The same smile, the same stain on his collar, but this image didn't exist anymore. This wasn't the memory of a photo or experience. What is this? My voice echoed somewhere else. Your true love, he said. Wow.
Oh,
Eva.
ouch. So good.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Oh my god.
Good.
I'm muted, but I hit all the feels.
I know.
So good.
Broke
Eva.
us, Eva. You broke us. Nailed it. All right. Tiff, give us Udra. I'm going to put up some of Eva's feedback.
All right. My hands shake as I put the final touches on my painting, heart racing with anticipation for the big reveal tonight. I smooth down my dress for the 10th time, fidgeting nervously. A knock at the door startles me from my thoughts. It's Liam, my on-again, off-again boyfriend. Our eyes meet briefly before I look away, the unresolved tension palpable. He shuffles in awkwardly, having promised to accompany me to the event weeks ago. You ready? He asks flatly. I nod, grabbing my painting carefully. We drive in thick silence to Harper's Verse Gallery. I gap as we enter the vibrant space. Walls splashed with vivid colors, people mill about, chatting enthusiastically as they admire the artwork. My eyes land on a striking woman across the room. Her hazel eyes pierce into mine, sending a spark through me. I can't turn my gaze away, utterly enthralled by her beauty. She smiles, and my cheeks flush. Who is she? I need to know more. Before I can approach her, Harper whisks me away to finalize the presentation details. You'll do great, Harper squeezes my hand reassuringly. I take a deep breath and nod, pushing down my nerves. It's time. Harper unveils my painting to gasps from the crowd. I did it. My eyes find Tia, who winks at me approvingly. This night couldn't go any better. I'm still reeling from the thrill of the unveiling when Liam appears by my side, his face clouded. Who's that woman you were making eyes at? He asked sharply. I bristle at his accusatory tone. I don't know what you're on about. Don't be ridiculous. Look like more than nothing to me, he spits out. Always knew you had a thing for women. My heart drops into my stomach. He can't expose me like this. Not here in front of everyone. Not with the piece I submitted. You're delusional, I hiss. I was just being friendly. Before he can retort, Evie swoops in, flanking me protectively. "Why don't you back off, Liam?" she drawls, eyes flashing. "Ain't nothing wrong with being friendly." Liam glares at her before skulking away angrily. I let out a shaky breath, beyond grateful for Evie's intervention. She pulls me into a fierce hug. "Don't worry about him, sugar," she murmurs. "Your secret's safe with me." I cling to her, a mix of adrenaline coursing through me. Evie knows, but also knows my truth is secure with her. For now, it remains mine to keep. I'm still reeling from the close call with Liam when Drew approaches me, congratulating me on the unveiling of my painting. I force a smile, trying to match his enthusiasm, but inside I'm churning. Now that my artwork is on display for the world to see, there's no going back. It's only a matter of time before people start questioning me, just like Liam did. My eyes drift over to the painting, taking in the sensual depiction of two women locked in an intimate embrace. It's a side of myself that I've kept carefully hidden, but now it's exposed for everyone to interpret however they choose. What was I thinking? This is Pride Mountain, not some progressive big city. People here aren't exactly open-minded. When word spreads about my painting's subject matter, it'll be a scandal. I'll be the talk of the town for all the wrong reasons. I should have just painted another mountain landscape or bowl of fruit, anything safer than this. I've practically outed myself without saying a word. Across the gallery, I catch Tia gazing at my painting, a small smile playing on her lips. Seeing her appreciation makes my heart flutter for a moment, but anxiety quickly swoops back in. Liam's stunned face flashes through my mind. How long before everyone else looks at me with that same judgmental expression? This painting might end up costing me everything, but it's too late now. My secret is splashed across the canvas in vivid color. All I can do is brace myself for the fallout. Liam takes in the painting, then looks over at me, eyes burning. "Then how do you explain this?"
Wow. And ending on the prompt line. Chef's kiss. Well done.
Oh,
Damn, Deidre, every time.
right in the heart on that one too. Oh my
Take
god.
it out and smack me with it. It's the after dark, Laura. It's okay. Okay. Look at all the feedback you're getting and love in the audience because you nailed it, Deidre. All right, Katie Ann, are you ready?
I am. Who am I reading again? I
So you're
don't
reading
remember.
for Labyrinth of Timers, Shawnee.
Lovely. All right, here we go. I wouldn't believe it had I not witnessed this with my own hazel gray eyes upon arriving at Frederick's art showing. But isn't his artwork that had got me feeling strange? It's another piece that we passed by an hour before his showing. That has shaken me to my core. I don't know how to explain it. How can it be? Raced through my head as I stared at what looks like a distant reflection of myself staring back at me. As I attempted to gain his attention to look at it, I can only get a distracted mumble, then shaken off his arm as he chats it up with another guest. So I leave him, being disheartened by his behavior, as I stroll back to it, staring intently at her hair, clothing. Who was she? I wanted to know, but knowing him, I'd never get the answers. And he'd make damn sure no one else could give me any either. I have to know who she is, or was, or if she was even really ever real at all. I knew just how much time I had to find out that evening while he mingled it up. So I take the owner of the gallery aside and begin to ask pointed questions. He couldn't provide me with much insight into her, but he gave me just enough to go in on my research at the library. Since it appears I will have even more time on my hands, I decided to spend a day of research the next day. What I found I still cannot wrap my mind around. Not only had I lived once before as her, me, she still existed to this day, having come into being several centuries ago. I only realized who it was after peering into the mirror one evening after one of his grand nights at the gallery, and that wasn't the only realization either. I never understood why we only went anywhere at night, as our lives never seemed out of the ordinary to me. He always provided everything I ever needed, well, except for the one thing I'd always craved more than food. His love and affection was the one thing that always seemed to be missing. I am Eveline Verlina. I know now who or what I am after all this time. I'm a vampire mistress, only now discovering my true self after so long, behind the gaze of a man who's betrayed me for the last time. After all this time, he's paid for his crime with passion and deceit. Now that I remember who he truly is, he will not cheat us ever again, and I'll be the mistress of Everworld forevermore.
Ah, nailed it. Way to go. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire, more food. Love that. Thank you. This was so good. You nailed it. Oh, love it. Let's see all your feedback you're getting, all the love. Great world building. Agreed. Brava. Loving all the vampires. I know. It was kind of, I don't know, that kind of night. The moment there was a portrait with no face. All right, Laura, we've got one more, and then we can do our next prompt. Read away.
Let me post this in a document so I can
Oh, yes.
get indentations.
Perfect.
There we go. Oh. Why? Okay, here we go. Here. Making sure I'm not muted. Okay.
Good start.
Exactly.
Okay, this is Christian's. Shelley and David have been dating for 2 months now, but something wasn't quite right. Sure, David seemed likable enough. He was tall, dark, and handsome. He was always smiling and very charming. All of Shelley's friends approved. Shelley was pretty sure that she was just being silly. It was her fear of commitment. She was searching for a reason not to trust him. Yet she couldn't pretend there weren't some questionable things about David. He frequently worked late nights and wouldn't answer his phone. Sometimes when he answered questions, it seemed like a rehearsed speech, as if he were saying the things he thought she wanted to hear. His emotions all seemed so controlled and put on as if he was pretending. The one time they had anything close to an argument about where to eat dinner, she swore there was something about his gaze and the clenched fists at his sides that said he wanted to hurt her. He hadn't, though. Surely she was being paranoid and projecting. There was also that night a week ago when David came to pick her up for a movie date. He was running late. There was a button missing on a shirt and a stain that looked a lot like blood. She chuckled. Yes, and he chuckled and assured her that it was some wine he'd spilled. He'd had a glass after work celebrating a friend's promotion. As they walked together to the art gallery, she couldn't help but notice the missing persons sign tacked to a nearby telephone pole. This was the 5th or 6th girl that had disappeared in the area within the last 2 months. There was a monster on the loose. Girls all looked a lot like her, too. All petite young women with long blonde hair. She instinctively walked a little faster. They walked to the gallery. David turned his charm on, talking with the other people that there as if he knew everything about fine art. Did he? Sometimes she wondered if she even really knew David. That's when she noticed one painting in particular that sent a shiver down her spine. Was it her overactive imagination again? Was she projecting? No, the face looking back at her was the painting. In this painting was unmistakably David. His features were monstrous in the picture, rows of sharp teeth dripping with blood, claws protruding from his fingers, eyes all black like a demon. A voice startled her. Enjoying the art? David asked. Her heart was racing in her chest. David, you look like you've seen a ghost, he says, smiling like he knows a secret that she doesn't. Can you explain this? She points at the monster in the painting with a shaking hand. Ta-da!
Christian.
Nice!
Wow. Christian was all like, oh, I just wrote a little ditty. Back of a napkin. Sitting at a
I like that take.
Loved that.
That's
Everybody
so good.
went different ways. That's the fun thing about these. It's like, there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. That's what I say. All right, Christian, I'm going to put some of your love up on screen. That was so great. Yeah, we were all kind of on the run, girl, run. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, the MC doesn't. Well, it's like the MC was making me nervous. Like, let it go. We've all been stayed too long. What?
Sorry.
Oh, listen, that description sounds exactly like him. And I'm like, he had a bisexual period too. So you never know. I don't want to limit it.
Oh.
So good. Love, love, love. Okay. Laura Nettles, of the two that were decided on by the audience, this is no longer a democracy. It is a cheerocracy. So you choose that last prompt, just like
Wait, which were the two?
the masquerade and
Or
the
the-
must confess their love by midnight.
Oh, I vote masquerade. I've got a really great idea.
Well, that looks like what she was choosing. So,
Yeah.
All right, it's number.
I didn't mean to jump on the cheerocracy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we're all on the team here. We're all bring it on people here. What is our time on the timer?
25.
25 it is. Laura Nettles is like really gonna make it hard for me.
Oh, can I do that in 25?
You can do it.
Fine, 26 and a half.
26 and a half. All right.
Great, gotta give me time to go get water.
I know, I'm getting that water though. It's like it's happening. Okay. Here we go. 26 and a half. You see the prompt on the screen. Write it. We'll see you on the other side, folks. Let me see. Scene. Okay. How did it go? Laura, you look verklempt? You're thinking? What's happening?
I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Fair. Well, how did it go, everyone? How did that prompt feel in the 30-minute-ish time frame? 26 minutes?
I got some weird world building going down.
Ooh, I love to hear that.
Can't wait to hear all of that.
It was very fun. I love going magical.
Yeah. Okay. No, it wasn't enough time. Well, you've got time to write. We're not gonna know. You can like send it to me in like a minute or
Dang
two.
it, I tense shifted again.
Oh, I do that all the time in these. All the time. Just finished. No time to read. Apologies in advance. No worries. I actually didn't write. My husband brought our food home, so I ate and talked with him. But I'm gonna enjoy all the stories as you all read them. Sorry, guys. It was a long work day. No world building, just smut. Yes, send it.
Slay. I love that.
Yeah, especially from the seminary lady. Here for it. No, it wasn't enough time. Yes, you can do it. I need to fix typos, then I can send. No worries. Send away. You can either send it to me, Laura, anybody on screen. Send away. We're all findable. Does anyone on screen want to read? I'll send out for some stories.
Do I want to get it over with?
I'm excited to hear this like
I wanna
weird
hear it.
world building.
Yeah, you're so like you built it up. I mean,
It's just
good.
Okay. I
Yeah,
don't
but-
know. Like, did she just sign a death sentence? I don't know.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whatever. Okay. I'll read. This also has not been titled yet. Music swelled from the string quartet in the corner, their waltz filling the immaculate ballroom. Elizabeth watched from the second-story balcony as dancers move about with swishing skirts and dapper suits, each in time with the melody. Mask-covered faces, feathers and fascinators adorning some of the more elaborate ones. She should be down there, mingling with the aristocracy, those who lived off the blood of the lower classes to preserve their sheltered lives. Of course, not of course, oh my gosh, the doors opened, revealing a man dressed so finely it could only be the prince. His poofy pants and mask of gold were dead giveaways, but the person behind him, dressed in a full bear costume, could only be her. The way the bear walked, shoulders hunched slightly despite the smoothest gait Elizabeth had ever seen, were dead giveaways. Elizabeth smoothed out her shirt, vest, and jacket. With her chest bound and top tight against her muscled arms, it would take others a while to recognize her. She lowered her mask into place, a silver fox. It was time to hunt the bear. The music shifted into a more subdued arrangement, allowing multiple couples to excuse themselves to take a break and take a turn about the gardens outside. Like a serpent, Elizabeth slides along the edges of the ballroom, nearing her target. The stupid prince is asking a visiting princess, dressed as a parrot, for a dance after the break. Behind them is Charlotte. The ridiculous bear suit, while tradition, is something I wish the monarchy would do away with. Why must the party chase a bear through the castle at the stroke of midnight? And why was it always Charlotte? Since the time she could run, it had always befallen her as a duty. Well, Elizabeth had a plan this time. Ladies and gentlemen, called out the royal speaker, midnight is upon us. We must chase the evil of the previous year out of the castle to ring in a new year of prosperity and blessing. At the pronouncement, Charlotte got into position in the center of the ballroom. I changed POV. I angle myself near the door, ready to give chase. The clock strikes midnight. Charlotte runs. I pursue. I've trained, sprinting around the docks before daybreak just for this moment. The bear runs past, a black blur, but I'm faster. Through the hallway she leads us, but as she turns a corner, I catch her and swing her into a room, closing the door behind us. Elizabeth, she hisses, removing the awful bear head. What are you? I kiss her. I'm breaking traditions. That's all I got.
That's so fun.
bears.
It's a bear suit. Okay, here we go.
I love it. That was great. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Anybody.
I'm going to send some out.
I guess I will go next then.
Okay.
All right.
Perfection.
This one does not have a title. I am bad at titling all of my own normal stuff, so nothing ever has titles.
Fair.
Okay. Woven in Starlight. What the hell does that even mean? Olivia asks for the 100th time in 2 hours. She fidgets in her seat, tugging at her black velvet gloves, yanking them closer to her elbows, but they keep slipping down, a size too big for her petiteness. Ivy shrugs. Knowing them, it means magic. Olivia sniffs, annoyed by that. She wiggles her fingers and then grumbles as the gloves slip down. You couldn't have stolen a better fitting disguise. Ivy rolls her eyes. This isn't about Olivia. She's really only coming along for moral support. At least that's what Ivy tells herself. The knots in her stomach tighten, sharpening her nausea as the carriage rolls to a standstill. Ivy hadn't even been able to look outside, afraid a passerby would notice her face, would recognize her face, and call the carriage to a halt. She pictured them yanking her down, mud splattering all over the gown, and the scrape of the cobblestones as they dragged her to the guillotine. A fraud, wearing a wealthy woman's clothes. The door opens and Olivia sweeps out, as casual and elegant as a true-born lady. She's been at this game a lot longer than Ivy has, so she follows her lead, grateful she managed to convince her to join her. Not that Olivia would ever say no to mischief and fun and glamour. The manor looks as though it sits atop clouds. Mist swirls around the foundation of it, obscures the hill it sits on, and leaves only a glistening walkway dotted with the slow procession of partygoers. Ivy tries not to crumple the stolen invitation in her hand as she follows Olivia off the street and through the wrought iron gates. It's familiar, the wash of magical energy that the Rinaldi family owns. It keeps them safe from prying eyes, burglars, enemies, and curses. For tonight, anyone with an invitation is allowed in. It's like a rush of cool water through Ivy's veins, and the invitation curls and rips itself up into beautiful indigo ribbons. They whirl tauntingly before dissipating into nothingness. Well, there's no going back now. Olivia loops their elbows together and hauls her onto the pathway. It's cobblestone, but each one glints with diamonds, sparkling and lighting their way into the masquerade party. With each step, Ivy's heart inches further up her throat. She touches her necklace. It sits, warm against her sternum, fluttering with a nervous pulse. Ivy swallows, and Olivia sweeps them into the ballroom without another word. When the Rinaldi family announced the Woven in Starlight as their beloved daughter's engagement party theme, Ivy hadn't known what to expect. She barely knew what those words meant, but it is clear now why all the guests are dressed in black. Stars fall, soft as snow, from the whirling white heavens above. They're like butterflies, landing playfully on the ladies' spun updos, sneaking onto the cufflinks of fine men and rimming glasses like salt. Some move quickly, flitting from person to person, landing on lashes and noses and bringing giggles. Others cling to their found owners, creating new bracelets and earrings and rings. Olivia laughs as one lands on her lower lip. Magic is so fun, she says, holding out her hand and catching a few twinkling lights on her palm. Ivy hums in agreement. She feels their weight against her skin, light like a tickle. As they venture deeper, grabbing glasses of sparkling wine for themselves and circling together as two unknown but beautiful ladies, Ivy starts to see why the Rinaldi family said no masks, despite it being a masquerade. The stars are starting to layer, gather together, and create woven shapes over their faces. If Ivy wasn't clinging to Olivia, she might not have recognized her otherwise. The stars create a flickering mask over her eyes, her hair, her lips. Ivy touches her sternum, the necklace. She knows her face must be covered in stars too, her appearance completely obscured. Good luck finding her, Olivia says as they stand in the center of the ballroom. At least I know I'm just here to have fun. But the knots have untangled themselves in Ivy's stomach. She knows Ruby Rinaldi, would know her blind and deaf, but luckily she is neither of those things. Her eyes skate and skip over the guests. She would know Ruby even without her magic. They're twined. Ruby had felt it that day in the park. She'd said so. It's why Ivy hadn't gotten away with picking her pocket. You, Ruby had whispered. But Rinaldi witches don't marry commoners, especially magicless common girls. Ivy's memories halt as she sees her. She isn't up on one of the many balconies. She isn't skulking in a corner. She isn't surrounded by her family. No, Ruby is in the throng of the action, yet she is untouchable. A man next to Ivy scoffs as he sees her, but he doesn't see her. All he sees is a ridiculous girl spinning in the stars, laughing as they coat her skin in effervescent light. Ivy lets Olivia's grasp slide away. She knows Ruby by the fall of her golden ringlets, yes, by the shine in her honey brown eyes, by the creamy curve of her waist and the length of her shoulders in a dress. But Ivy also knows her by the salt scratch of her laugh whenever something catches her off guard, by the constellation of freckles down her back, by the way she hates summer and seagulls and spiders, by the way she holds Ivy when the nightmares come baring their teeth at her, by the way she gives her opinion and money and love freely, but holds back when it comes to touching and kissing, by the way her heart beats and her breath catches as Ivy tilts her chin to kiss her, by the way she loves, by the way her mouth forms Ivy's name, by the way she twines herself around Ivy on the ballroom floor and says, "Hello, darling," without hesitation. The starlight coalesces around them, and even though it obscures Ruby from view, Ivy knows it is her, just as Ruby knows Ivy.
Oh my God. Are you seeing these comments? Like people just obsessed.
Amazing.
Oh, welcome.
I had so much fun with that. I was like, yes.
It showed you just like, wow, Katie is such a good writer. I love her descriptions. Yes. Olivia. Ivy is a fun name, but awesome writing. Katie is so good. Are you published anywhere yet?
No, unfortunately not.
Give it time. Rule Schmools, which was for JC, was asking if you had to mention the prompt. You do not. Yes. Can you write the book, please? Collarbones is the pros agree. Shut up. Yes. Loving it. You just killed it. Yeah. Hello. Look at all that. Wowza. Okay. Who wants to follow that?
You're muted, Tiffany.
You got it, Tiff. It's all you.
Hello.
There you
Hi.
go.
Take it away.
All right. Mine is quite different. Why that conniving little bitch I see as I sit there looking up the grand staircase of the Lux Hotel. Who the hell does she think she was? Mother, my eldest hissed in my ear. Jake is looking at her, she whined. She ain't even cute with that tacky red dress, and who would pair silver heels with that? This isn't New York Fashion Week. Where does she think she was going? Oh, shut it, you cow. My baby girl squealed as if she was the one to call anyone names. No matter what kind of Jenny Craig Weight Watchers Soul Cycle diet I put her on, she still found a way to gain 3 pounds. Mommy, make her stop, Melinda whined again. Yeah, run to mom, you big baby, Veronica mocked. Maybe that's why the wannabe People's Magazine sexiest boy alive isn't paying you any attention. He's not paying attention to you either. Shut up. Will you both stop? I couldn't take my eyes off the girl walking into the room. Cameras flashed her direction as the media called out questions. Over here, beautiful. What's your name, gorgeous? How do you know Jake? Are you a singer too? She walked through smiling at them all, but never saying a word. Damn right, she better keep that mouth of hers shut. She was supposed to be locked in the attic at home. That was where I left her when we came to this private concert. How the hell did she get out? This was so like Etta. She always had to ruin everything just because everybody thought she was such hot shit. I was the only one that ever saw her for the trash that she was. Not even my dear late husband, God rest his soul, could see past the fact she looked like his first wife, that whore, who apparently was the epitome of beauty. Please, I had seen pictures and she wasn't all that special. Just your typical blonde-haired, blue-eyed, big-breasted, compact woman with a perfect smile. If you ask me, I think she sold her soul to the devil, and that's why she died in childbirth. He couldn't have 2 women walking around thinking they were God's gift to men. Come on. I grabbed Melinda's hand. She was gonna be the next Jake Swift, or she was gonna be the next Mrs. Jake Swift if I had to kick every girl's ass in this room to make it happen, including my ridiculous stepdaughter. Although hers I would gladly kick for free once this concert was over. And had she really thought that butterfly mask was going to keep anyone from noticing her? Now you listen to me, I instructed my daughter. I'm going to distract the security guard and you sneak backstage and find Jake. Tell him all about how you love cats too and that you write poetry. But I don't write poetry. I rolled my eyes. No one writes poetry, you nit. Just tell him you do so you spark his interest. We were headed for security when the door on the other side of the room opened and out walked Jake and his manager. Damn, he was too far away and there was far too many screaming girls and guys in the way for us to get to him before he got to the stage. I pushed as many little girls out of the way as I could. We only had enough money to last until the end of the year, and then I was going to have to start selling things in order to keep the house. But with the right tactics, I planned to make sure Jake's money was my money. I mean, our money. Before then, we were almost there when Jake stopped. His eyes fanned over the crowd and stopped on Etta. Oh no, she wasn't going to take this from me. Not after my husband left everything in her name, and that was the only reason I had to keep her around. Now she was going to steal my future son-in-law? I wouldn't have it. I watched my worst nightmare play out right in front of me. Jake parted his fans like they were the Red Sea and walked right to her. Hello. There was a sparkle in his eyes. I was afraid you wouldn't make it. My eyes rolled out of my head. How the hell did he already know her? There was a small distraction, but nothing would stop me from being here, I promised, she said in her tickly voice that made my ears bleed. When she smiled, I knew it was over. I had seen that look before. I know. He actually kissed the back of her hand like we were in some Disney fucking movie. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for yours, she said softly. You can't know how much they mean to me. He leaned forward and pressed his lips to the side of her cheek. Oh, brother, I believe I can. He backed up and put his arm around her waist. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, let me be the first to introduce you to my biggest fan and my new girlfriend, Miss Cindy Loretta Sweeper. Wait, Melinda screeched. That's Etta. Our Etta. What is she doing here? And where did she get that dress? I don't know, and I don't care. She was taking my future. I watched them walk toward the back of the stage, and I wanted to run forward and rip his arm from around her, but I stopped myself. No, it was okay. She had to come home at some point, and when she did, we would have a long conversation. She was still my stepdaughter. I had already drained her account. My plan could still work. I just had to change the leading lady. Either way, we weren't losing the house, and Jake was our savior.
Wow.
Oh, good. That was so good.
Start. Jealous much. I mean, like, you killed it from the opening. Wowza. All right.
I decided to go for a twist on Cinderella.
I love it.
Like
Oh my
story.
god.
But from the stepmom. So it was like a romance because she was seeing it, but not quite in the romance. So.
Oh, I love it. Winter was gold. I love the oh shit. Humor was everything. Yes to all of that. All right, Jake. Yes. Okay.
Surprised it wasn't Ned.
Oh,
I mean,
Ned.
I thought about it.
You love a Ned. Yes, you and Ned. Oh, wow. Okay, you're getting all the love from chat. So soak it up, enjoy every second of it. That's what we're here for, building you up. Hi, Dolores. Welcome.
You are muted.
Hi.
Dolores.
Yes.
There you are.
Welcome.
I didn't write the whole time, so this is like half the time.
That's okay. I mean, go for it. Do you want to intro first and tell everybody about yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Take it away.
So I'm Dolores Medill. I do some writing stuff on YouTube, mostly sprints, but I also do gaming, and I like to kind of talk about writing and gaming. But also, I've started to be more open about my erotica, so I'm planning to do an erotica series on YouTube that will probably get me in trouble, but oh well.
There are no rules here. It's after dark.
And I just submitted a poem for a local collection, so
Yay! Congratulations. All right. Well, whenever you're ready, take it away.
okay. So there is not anything explicit. It's just mentioned.
Again, you're good. We always warn everybody we're all grown, so it is with
That's
what you
true.
got. Anna slipped a finger in earlier, so we're all there.
That's true.
Or was it two? It was 2 fingers, I think.
Right.
Yes, I did, Deirdre. Sent it. All right, take it away whenever you're ready.
There she is. How could I ever think that I would not be able to find her? The mask obscuring her eyes does nothing to change her or hide how beautiful she is. Her hair shines as she looks out the window, watching the vastness of space. The red dwarf, so bright, illuminates her hair and her brown skin, making her a shade darker, like it did when we made love in the viewing dock. She stands there so refined, like the princess she is. Even if I had known on that moon she was the princess, it wouldn't have changed my mind, and most definitely not my heart. I walk over it and extend my hand. Might have this dance, Your Highness. How do you know that I am the Princess Nova? She asks, while not bothering to turn away from the window, like all the faint lights from the sun are more entertaining than the ball happening on board. Because I would know you from anywhere, Starlight. I almost whisper the last part. She stiffens, her experiential hearing picking up on the name I had given her while we were held captive. What did you say? That I would know you from anywhere, my shining starlight. She turns, and her eyes shine with tears. The only reason I'm alive today. Without breaking eye contact, she places her hand in my outstretched one. We walk silently towards the dance floor. On the way, she hands her glass to a passing server. As we stop on the floor, another waltz starts. I take her in my arms, just like how she had shown me in the prison cell. We begin to move, again, not breaking eye contact. As I spin her, she moves just a step closer towards me instead of the normal distance. How did you get here? Oh, I worked very hard to find you, Starlight. They haven't let me go anywhere since we escaped. I know, but I'm here now, and I'm the advisor now to the head general. Soul, I knew you would find me. That's it.
That was so good. Oh, sci-fi.
Yes,
Yes.
way to go. So, like, where's the story going? Where are you taking us? Do you know
I'm
yet?
not sure exactly.
I love it. We have 2 sci-fi twists tonight on different prompts.
Yes.
I'm kind of loving that.
Yeah.
Way to go.
It was just kind of
boy.
fun.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming. What else do you have going on coming up on your channel, Dolores? What can we plug?
Well, I will be announcing a pen name because I'm gonna be doing an erotic novella. So, and I'm doing a vlog that kind of talks about that. So a little bit.
Sweet. And when does it drop? Or is it out now?
The vella,
The
Or-
vlog.
the vlog, hopefully next month it will be out because I only post once a month because I got a lot of stuff going on. So.
Well, listen, I feel it. I feel it.
Oh, but I have been posting a lot of stuff because it's Hispanic Heritage Month. So there's a lot of things. And also, me and Esther did a collab last year or 2 years ago that I have posted in different spaces. So,
Oh, yeah. I got to check that. Okay. What? Love it. Well, thank you for coming. Come back and play with us again. This was great.
yes.
Thank you for being brave.
Thank you.
Bye, Dolores. See you later. Alrighty, friends. I sent out stories. I think, Laura, you got one from JC. Katie Ann got one for me. Tiff, you got one in email from Eva. Who wants to go first?
Barrett, did you read yours?
I didn't write one, love. I ate dinner.
All right.
Sorry. I cheated this round. I literally got home from work, changed, and got on with you all. So,
I can read JC's.
myself. Cool.
All right. It is one paragraph. Alrighty. I didn't need to see his face to know exactly who he was. Even with the costume on and the oversized mask, I had memorized nearly every inch of him. From the dimple in his chin to the birthmark on his inner thigh, down to the tip of his head. I had committed to memory the feel of his skin against mine and the warmth of his touch as he tended to my every need. That night was the single greatest night of my life, and I could never tell anyone about it. We had agreed that night at a bar to not exchange names or numbers, but I couldn't help myself. After I woke up the next morning, feeling the emptiness of the bed beside me, I immediately longed to feel him inside me again, to feel the warmth of him over top of me. I had to find him. I had to know everything about him. One night was simply not enough.
It didn't take much, but whoa.
Ooh, that's steamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's going to be with us all a little later. You got a little red on that one, Laura, as you were reading it.
Yes, I did!
A little bit.
Good job, JC.
Yes, way to go. Bum chicka bow wow.
I love that that
okay.
made Laura red.
I know.
If you
Well, I
haven't
could see it
read
hap-
Ivy and Bean, go
I
check
know.
I don't read it out loud.
I know. I could see it happening. Like as she was reading, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna get steamy." Yeah, that was funny. Listen, JC, look, it doesn't take whew, steamy. Okay. Here, I'll go next and read Shawnee's. Hang on just a second.
Oh,
Boy. Okay. Oh no, it can't be him, can it? I mean, I haven't seen him in years, but that face, even a mask can't hide those azure blues. Why did I have to attend? Oh wait, I know. The invite from hell. He knew me enough that I'd never turn down a party. I just didn't know he'd be hosting it tonight. I could have just discreetly slipped out off onto the balcony and down the lattice of rose thorns with rose thorns in my sides. But nope, I decided to stay. I can't let him see me escaping in the pouring rain in a dress that would even give the true mysterious at the dark a run for her money on this Halloween evening. That's until I saw him. As I turned back towards the crowd of guests, my eyes met his. Well, no, not his, another man's dark brown eyes. So dark, I feel like I'm descending into a portal to somewhere else. A dizzying feeling throughout me felt like an out-of-body experience as he made his approach, introduced himself, but only by first name, Vincent. He led me through the crowd of different colors that sway through the ballroom. As we danced through the evening, the rain subsided and the moon danced along with us in the room as the room fell silent, almost as if we're the only ones now. He never took the mask off his face, not even when he asked, only swayed and twirls me through what seemed like an endless floor that went on for miles, until the clock struck the bewitching hour, where I woke upon the floor of the now empty room. All the walls were filled with chipping paint and wallpaper torn throughout. This was the strangest investigation I've ever encountered. I still don't understand what had happened since seeing my partner as one of the men in the mask. That must have been some conk on the head, since the guy isn't even my type. I guess I'll never know why I dreamt such a strange dream after being hit on the head during a ghost hunt, other than ghosts are rather adamant that they won't be disturbed by anyone, and certainly not me. Oh, I liked it. Took it a different place. I wasn't expecting it. The Deads. Love it. Okay. Way to go. Thanks for sharing, Shami. Wait, someone said FBI? I think it was ghost hunting. Oh, yeah, there it is.
I'm sorry. Can we just... Eva, are you kidding?
Wait. What
She's
was
like,
it?
feel free to read something. What'd she say? Feel free to read something else that you wrote instead of my piece.
I mean, listen, not a competition. It's just sharing what you got. That was awesome. Thank you. That was good. Okay, who's next up? Laura went me. Tiff, you have Eva, and then Katie Ann's got Deidre.
I am on it, and I'm reading yours, Eva. You'll do great. You know you will. I whispered the words to Lara Beth as I stood outside her window. She leaned against the frame. Her arm hung low and her fingers entangled with mine. She didn't look at me, but somewhere over the moon, full and bright above us, I took her hand and put it to my face. Father said there must be a test, and so let him have his test. She moved her hand over my cheeks and to my lips, where she let her fingers dance. She said, still gazing at the moon, and if I succeed, what if they do not honor the test, but instead do something terrible? Like, I clutched her hand. No. Above all else is the honor of the realm. They cannot challenge me to marry with a test and then deny me the winner's hand. She took her hand from me and lowered herself back into my room. She leaned over the edge and looked in my direction, her eyes white with blindness. Then tomorrow, Lady Lorena, you'll be my bride-to-be. She stepped back from the window and disappeared into the darkness. The masquerade was the talk of the entire kingdom, with people traveling far and wide. The grand ballroom was never so full as this day. There were long tables that could seat 50 or more along the walls, with room for as many to dance in the middle. Gold and blue draperies hung down the walls, mimicking the throne itself, which sat at the head of the room, and that's where I sat, watching the people file in with great cloaks of armor. Some even had swords, as if their great broadswords were somehow enticing to me. How little they knew. Lady Lorraine, Are you ready to begin? The king's aide, my father's right hand, asked me from his place just below the throne stage. I nodded. He turned toward the room's center and echoed his voice loudly. By decree of His Royal Highness, King Lamo, the ladies' challenge commences now and ends only when Lady Lorraine is betrothed. The rules are plain and unwavering for those who want to take part in the ladies' challenge, and they are as such. You must pick Lady Lorraine out of a row of 100 maidens without any clue beyond fate of her location, without asking a single question, without hearing a single utter of any of the maiden's voice. If you decide to participate, please take your place in line. He turned and nodded to me. I stood up and smiled at the crowd, all of which were unknown to me. I knew somewhere among them was Laura. It was her idea that I shouldn't know her disguise, as maybe my own desires would give away something. Father would want to find any reason to discredit her, of course. There has not once been a princess betrothed to a princess. I gave a small bow before I turned and went behind the curtain. She was the 47th suitor. I didn't know it was her. I stood along the line with 99 other women, taken from the fields of neighboring kingdoms and paid a handsome penny for their time. We all stood, they and I together, in the same thick brown cloak with large hood. Our faces had golden masks with long noses. I watched her walk by and thought nothing of it. So many had come before. So many wanted to be king. I was tired. The cloak was heavy, and the women in the room smelled of manure and sweat. But then she stopped, just there, just in front of me, and she turned. Her own white mask, like so many before her wore, looked at me. She reached for my hand, and when she grabbed it, my heart leapt, for the same soft skin of my Larabeth was sure. It is I, Lady Lorraine. I stepped forward, removing my mask. There were no gasps. There has been a challenge winner, I heard the king's aide proclaim as he walked over to us. And you, sir, remove your disguise. Larabeth took down her own hood and slipped off the white mask, revealing pale skin and red flowing hair. My betrothed, she said.
Eva, all that world building, like, damn. Love, liar. People
So
liar.
good.
Yeah, so good. I lived for it. Yay, Eva. Okay, so great world building. See, need more. I did love this. Such a great line. I know. 26 minutes, y'all. 26 minutes. Like, what? All right. Katie Ann is closing us out with, we're going to come back and like say goodbye and everything. But Deirdre writes romance. Our very own Deirdre Ann Anderson is up with our final story. Or does anybody else get one emailed? I guess I should ask. Did one come to you, Laura, that I'm unaware of? I don't think I missed anybody. Okay. Take it away, Katie Ann.
Ooh, I'm excited about this. The mountain air is crisp and clean, filling my lungs as I step out of the rental car. I've missed this place. Pride Mountain looks like a postcard, the reds and oranges of fall framing the quaint downtown. I'm back to talk business. The family wants to sell some land to developers, but first my siblings insisted I make an appearance at the annual masquerade ball. The ballroom glitters with twinkling lights. Guests in elaborate costumes and masks laugh and dance to the live band. I grab a glass of punch and scan the room. Where are they? Then I see her. Those curves that could always bring me to my knees, that mole beneath her ear that I used to tickle with my tongue. It's Chandra. My pulse quickens. How long has it been? 3 years? She's disguised in a feather mask and dress, but I'd know that body anywhere. We were passionate once. The things we used to do. I adjust myself discreetly as desire stirs. Does she still think of me like that? I watch her move through the crowd, laughing, so carefree. What stopped us from having more? My relentless work ethic, my blind ambition. If I could do it again. She turns, and through the anonymity of the mask, our eyes meet. A jolt of electricity. She recognizes me, too. I know because she bites her lip, like she used to when we tumble into bed. I hesitate. Do I approach? Just then, a hand clamps my shoulder. Jack, you made it! It's true. Jovial as ever in his Zorro costume. The moment broken, I make small talk with my brother, all the while tracking Chandra's movements. The anticipation builds. I have to speak to her tonight. I have to try again. Drew, I can't believe I let you drag me to this thing, I say, rolling my eyes dramatically. He laughs. Oh, come on, you love it. Plus, you get to see your favorite siblings. Favorite siblings? Jacqueline appears, martini in hand, decked out as a flapper girl. I better be at the top of that list. I grin and pull her in for a hug. You know you are. I've missed their playful banter. Jacqueline swats Drew's arm. You stole my costume idea, you copycat. They bicker lightheartedly about who decided to dress as Zorro first. I half listen, glancing around for any sight of Chandra. A flash of feathers across the room. There, talking with a woman in a cat costume. I feel a pang of jealousy, even after all this time. Drew nudges me. You all right? You seem distracted. Yeah, I just thought I saw someone. Jacqueline follows my gaze and gasps. Is that? I nod subtly. No point hiding anything from her. Go talk to her, Jack. I know you've always regretted how things ended. Jacqueline gives me a little push. My feet feel heavy. My heart pounds. But it's time. I weave through the crowd toward Chandra, ready for a second chance at love. I take a deep breath and tap Chandra on the shoulder. She turns, and even through her feathered masquerade mask, I can see her bright green eyes widen in surprise. Jack, what are you doing here? My mouth goes dry. God, she's even more beautiful than I remembered. I'm in town on business. My siblings convinced me to come to this thing. I gesture vaguely around us. Chandra folds her arms across her chest, shifting her weight. The defensive stance cuts me. Well, it's nice to see you, she says briskly. You too. I shuffle my feet, feeling awkward. How have you been? Good. Busy with the shop. I nod. Silence stretches between us, filled only by the lively music and chatter surrounding us. Chandra, can we talk? I blurt out. Somewhere quieter? She hesitates, glancing back at her friend, who gives her an encouraging nod. I guess so, she finally says. My heart leaps. This is my chance. I lead her out to the balcony overlooking the mountains. The night air is crisp and clear. I turn to her, taking her hands in mine. Her skin is just as soft as I remember. I'm sorry, I say, for everything. I should never have let you go. These last 2 years, all I've been able to think about is you. I regret losing you every day. Chandra looks up at me, eyes glistening. Oh, bless your heart.
That is so great. Katie should have an audiobook narrator side hustle. By the way, bless your heart should be the ending of a prompt. Like, we should be like, you have to write this story and end it with bless your heart.
Oh, bless your heart. Mm-hmm.
I do love a good bless your heart.
Who doesn't? Okay, so Deidre, you got all this love. Katie was getting love for the reading voice, soothing us all. See? Everything. Flash of feathers. Some of these lines, you guys, tonight were so great. Like,
So inspiring. Love
yes,
listening to everyone.
yes, same. Okay, nailed it. All right.
You gave me great material, Deidre.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
It's fantastic.
holy moly, yeah. But your powers combined. I'm making it a Snow White retelling. Bless your heart. Yes, yes.
Ooh.
All right, Steph sent one. I'm going to read it. So Stephanie Backus. His eyes blazed as he found her across the crowded ballroom. She was facing away from him, but it didn't matter. He would know the curve of her body anywhere. Her long legs had wrapped around him just that morning before they both had to leave for the day. He knew her long red hair because his hands had been holding on to it, twisting it around his fingers like a ball of yarn that was in knots as her head tilted backward from his gentle pull. Her shoulders were his kryptonite, the irresistible soft skin of the nape of her neck, drawing him in every time he saw it. He could mentally run his hands down her arms and around to the front of her body, softly cupping her round breasts that he knew were barely being held in by her strapless dress. He imagined the curve of her waist as he thought about running his finger from her ribcage to her hips as she slept on her side next to him. His breath caught when she turned around and locked eyes with him. Her mask could not hide who she was. He knew every inch of her body. He knew how her back arched when she orgasmed and how her mouth opened just slightly as she moaned in pleasure. He knew the shape of her ears as he planted kisses on her neck and the way her feet arched and tossed curls and toes curled when she felt pleasure. With a soft growl in his throat, he made his way through the crowd until he was standing in front of her. His finger tilted her chin up to look at him. I knew it was you. He leaned down and kissed her. She giggled as he stood tall again. He was much taller than her, at least a foot. Why, sir, I'm not sure who you think I am. Her southern twang always came out when she was feeling playful. He leaned down, his raspy voice whispering in her ear, his body pressed against hers, revealing all of his secrets. We should go. Stephanie.
Oh my goodness!
Laura said that one, she'd be 50 Shades of Red.
I would be dead!
Dead?
I'd be dead!
You have succeeded. You did get me to read smut, and it was fun. That was really spicy. Stephanie.
So sexy. I loved it.
I have to thank you, Stephanie. I think I actually got a new story idea.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Mhm.
Stephanie, okay then. Yes, this energy. Y'all so good tonight. Always true. Always true. So many talented people. I can't even stand it. Stephanie, where did that come from? Whoa. Run off to the gym after that? Holy cow. Well, I'm like, I need a cool shower, but okay. No, I'm kidding. Love you lots, Anna. Thanks for coming on. That was amazing. Everybody killed it tonight.
Yeah.
We didn't get through more of your prompts, Laura, but we got some good ones for next week because we didn't use them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's going to be
Oh, Morgan.
Laura Blush once a week
Oh gosh.
on a story. It's now a mission of mine, Laura. I'm going to start sending you my stories.
As long as I don't have to read them out loud.
Pay back for that one chapter. Tonight's stories were so good it made me feel only slightly inadequate. Stop that.
Exactly.
Stop it. Stop it.
Morgan, your snippet in the Discord. So good.
Yes.
So good.
And
Like, come on. You have
Yeah.
2 whole books that are amazing.
Yes. And a chapter that I read in your new romance that's fire. Yeah. So, okay. Lovely ladies on screen. I'm not going to keep you up all night. We'll close down at our promised hour, even though we started a little late. Sorry, y'all know it's gay time every night. So, thank you for coming, Katie Ann. It was so good to have you. These other two put up with me all the time. So here's what we're going to do. We'll let you take the floor first and do an outro. Let everybody know what's going on with you, where they can find you, and how amazing you are. All of your links should be in the description box below. So check out Katie Ann Writes.
She's
Take it
amazing.
away. She is.
Thank you so much for having me. Literally, I love this so much. Like, everyone is so talented and inspired me all the time. That's like why I love coming here. But yeah, if you want more of me and my craziness, I have a YouTube channel where I post about my writing and yeah, I have vlogs and portions where I read some of my own writing too, if you want to find those as well. I am currently trying to write another novel before I turn 25 in like 3 months or 2.5 months. So good luck to me.
You also tier ranked your last lines.
I did. So if you want to hear me at not my best, you can go listen to some really shitty last lines that I've written throughout my life.
I love it.
And anyone else feel free to make that video too, because I'm obsessed with watching those videos. But yeah, that's me. You can find me everywhere down below. You can come scream at me on Instagram, Discord, whatever. So thank you for having me again. I will come back anytime you want me.
You're a rock star. We're going to have you back. Tiffany, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm Tiffany, TLRS Lifestyle and all the interwebs. I will be streaming tomorrow from, I guess, noon Central, 1 Eastern. I almost said Pacific. I was like, that's not the right way. 1 Eastern for Saturday Shorts, where we will be doing something similar to this, except for, I don't know, we may not be reading them, or maybe we will. Stay tuned. And feel free to join me over on my channel for that, as well as I am one half of the writing duo Des Laurie. We have a number of books out, including our latest, Romance on the Truck, and my own personal one, Speed of My Heart, came out today. So once more, if you have not picked it up, please go by and give it a love, give it a like, give it a review, give it a buy, give it a read. I don't know, give it all the things.
Okay, I'll go next, and then Laura will close us out. My name is Barrett. Laurie, thanks for stopping by. I love hanging out with Laura Nettles once a week to do this. It's a ton of fun, and she just knocks my socks off with her prompts and her skills. But all of you are so talented, and thank you for coming. You're amazing. And I love spending time with you each and every week. It makes an awful work week so much better. So I do this on Fridays. I do Writer's Room with Tiff and Morgan Lee once a month. That's tons of fun. Do that with us. AuthorTubers React on Nia the Vixen and Fictions channel, and AuthorTube Karaoke, second Saturday of the month with Margaret Pinard. Other than that, I do vlogs whenever damn well feel like it. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to a lovely Laura Nettles. And Roy.
I have a whiny puppy right now.
Okay, and Roy.
And Roy. I am Laura Nettles. I write horror under my real name, and under my pen name, Samantha R. Silverstone, I have some contemporary romance out. The first book right now is for free. It's called Heart Notes by Samantha R. Silverstone. The third one comes out tomorrow. So that's exciting. They are short. So they are for the 1 hour Kindle reads. I was shooting for 45 minutes, but they changed everything. So now they're in the 1 hour. They're only 6.5K. And they're 1 hour. Who knows? Thank you for your sweet joy.
The size doesn't matter, Laura. They're good.
Thanks. So yeah. I will be on Saturday Shorts tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be around the block.
All right. See you all next Friday. And we're going to go out the same way we came in.